It is officially that time in the last game of the season. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Super Bowl 60, Seattle Seahawks versus New England Patriots. We all remember the last time these two teams faced up in the Super Bowl with that classic Malcolm Butler interception at the goal line. But that's really the past and two totally different teams than the current versions we obviously have now. But before I give my predictions and just some overall takeaways of each team, let's dive into the stats of each team. And these stats I pulled came straight from NBC, and they're the regular season stats of each team. So let's first look at the offense, and the Patriots scored 28.8 points a game compared to the Seahawks 28.4. So in the regular season, the Patriots had a little bit of an advantage, but this is totally dropped in the playoffs. Obviously, they've had two bad weather games in a row, so I don't know if you can completely say they've fallen off. It is something to be a little concerned about, but I think the Patriots can keep this game close. The total yards per game, the Patriots have 379.4 compared to Seahawks 351.4. So another stat where the Patriots do have the advantage. I know a lot of people want to cry about their schedule. You do play the schedule that you get. Maybe that did factor into how many total yards you get if you're playing, worse teams. I believe the best defense that the Patriots faced all season in the regular season was the Buffalo Bills. So, that is fair that the schedule did play part in it, but at the same time, you can't really control it. Now, looking at the pass yards per game, the Patriots had 250.5 compared to the Seahawks 228.1. That's honestly interesting to see from the Seahawks because I would have expected a little more just because of JSN. He was a leading receiver in the entire NFL, and they still only ranked 8th in overall passing yards per game. But at the same time, it does make sense because they ran the ball the second most in the entire NFL. And saying that, it's pretty interesting to see this next stat, the rush yards per game. The Patriots had 128.9 and the Seahawks had 123.3. I know that the Seahawks did have the split backfield between Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. Obviously, Walker's the only one there now that Charbonnet got injured. But I would have expected maybe a little more rush yards from the Seahawks. And that's also interesting for the Patriots to have more rush yards per game because Travion Henderson didn't really break out till the second half of the season. So that's just really interesting to see that the Patriots have a big upper hand in the offense in the regular season. And that takes us into the last stat, which is the giveaways in the season. The Patriots only had 16 compared to the Seahawks 28. I feel like the Seahawks stats are a little inflated because when Sam Darnold had bad games, he had pretty bad games. Like that one game versus the Rams, he threw 4 interceptions. So obviously that's going to make his stats look very bad and it's going to up the giveaways. Just in his Rams games alone, he had 6 interceptions. So that definitely plays into a part of these giveaways. Now we've seen that the Patriots have the complete upper hand in the offense during the regular season. Let's take a look at the defense, and it's almost the exact opposite. So the points allowed for the Patriots per game was 18.8 compared to the Seahawks 17.2. That was best in the entire NFL, and this defensive unit has been one of the best. Rookie Nicky Nwari has been one of the best players in the entire NFL. I know he's questionable for the Super Bowl with an ankle sprain, but I do expect him to play. This is the biggest game of his career so far, so I know that he's going to want to push to play. And with it just being an ankle sprain, I don't think there's too much to be worried about. And now for the total yards per game, the Patriots allowed 295.2 compared to the Seahawks 285.6. Now for the pass yards per game, this one's pretty close. The Patriots allowed 193.5 and the Seahawks allowed 193.9. So they were almost identical in this category. The Patriots being ranked the 9th best and the Seahawks being ranked the 10th best. But this is where the Seahawks have the really big upper hand in the rush yards per game. They really do not allow you to run on them. The Patriots allowed 101.7. and the Seahawks only allowed 91.9. And for the final category, we have the takeaways. The Patriots had 19 takeaways, and the Seahawks had 25. This Seahawks defense is just so explosive and has had so many great plays this season, and that's obviously reflected in their takeaways. I will say though, these stats would look a lot different if they were just based off the playoff stats. The Patriots have kind of struggled this playoffs. Like I mentioned before, there's been 2 bad weather games they've played in a row, but they still have found a way to make it to the Super Bowl. The defense has stepped up a lot, so Drake Mays kind of took a backseat role, but that takes me into the takeaways for each team. I did a short form video of these talking points, but if you didn't see that, I'm going to go over them in this video. First, talking about the Seattle Seahawks, they're a balanced vertical offense and JSN is a priority to get going early. In the first playoff game versus the 49ers, he really wasn't included, which is fine because they didn't need him, but in that game versus the Rams, he was very crucial, so Sam Darnold needs to get him involved for them to be able to move the ball. But like we kind of went over in the stats, their defense is their specialty. They allowed the least points at 17.2, and they were especially good in the red zone, and they need to keep being especially good in the red zone, especially because of the ability of Drake May's legs. The Seahawks' ideal game is fewer snaps and bigger plays. With fewer snaps, the Seahawks will be less likely to turn over the ball and make mistakes, and big plays from JSN will really be able to move the ball. Because they have a defensive specialty, defenses shorten games, So you want your defense out there if that's your number one part of your team. And over to the Patriots. During the regular season, they had a 43% third down conversion rate, but this has plummeted in the playoffs, so the Patriots need to focus on conversion. Something they also did great in the regular season is they were 5th in time of possession, having the ball on average for 31 minutes and 28 seconds. This helped them burn the clock a lot and establish big leads if teams got behind. Mike Vrabel was really coaching them amazingly, and they were really having efficient, methodical drives. And this led them to score 28.8 points a game, which is the second best in the NFL and even better than the Seahawks. But the Patriots' ideal game would be more snaps and fewer mistakes. And that takes us into the odds for the Super Bowl. Currently, the Seahawks are favored by 4.5 points, and the total over-under for the game is 45.5 points. And that takes us into the final part of the video, which is my prediction. This is really hard because both teams have looked like the two best teams the entire year. But if I was a betting man, the team that looked more explosive and elite during the season was the Seahawks. The addition of Sam Darnold was the best decision this team has made in so many years. After Geno Smith, after DK Metcalf, you really turn the team around. And also because I'm a Vikings hater. But I think this game is going to go 30-27 in favor of the Seahawks. I honestly think that this game also might go to overtime. I just have a feeling. I obviously could be completely wrong. I'm not saying that the Patriots don't have a chance, however. I think if they take out JSN from the game, this could be anyone's game. The Seahawks have also lost Charbonnet, and their rookie safety is also questionable, so I guess we'll kind of have to see how it is, if he does play or not. But that will do it for the video, guys. I want to hear your guys' Super Bowl predictions down below. Who will get a ring first? Is it going to be Drake May? Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Whichever one it is, they're going to get a ring before Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. But if you have any questions, comments, or ideas, make sure to comment them down below. See you guys.